G'day guys, welcome back to the channel. Welcome to my NRL Round 4 tips. Can you believe it is now a month into the 2022 NRL season? We saw some cracking games over the weekend and I expect nothing less as the season progresses and we start to see who's good, who's bad and who's going to jump into form. But these are going to be my Round 4 tips. First game, which is on Thursday night, is an absolute snooze fest at Cbus Super Stadium. It's the Gold Coast Titans who blew a 22-0 lead over the Raiders last week, losing that game 24-22 in Canberra. I did tip the Titans by 2. Raiders ended up winning by 2, unfortunately there. Their new recruit, Jermaine Asako, comes into position for the injured fullback in Jaden Campbell. As for the Tigers, they lost to the Warriors in a close game that they just threw out the window. And Stefano Utoikamanu looks to be out for at least 8 weeks, which is really, really worrying signs for the Tigers. David Nofaluma and Ken Mamalo on the wings. Ken for this game. I think Ken might have been out last game, if I'm not mistaken. James Roberts in the centres going up against Brian Kelly. In the halves for the Titans, you've got AJ Brimson, Toby Sexton versus Jock Madden and Luke Brooks, as Jackson Hastings has also been suspended. Means that Jacob Little in the number 9 jersey. And as for the Titans, Corey Thompson is back on the wing. He's in jersey number 2. And Philip Sami is also out for this game. So it's at Cbus Super Stadium. It's a Thursday night. The Titans will be furious with the way that they handled last week. They're a team that can score lots of attack points, but their defence can get awful. I'm going to make a prediction here that the West Tigers will score 2 tries. One of those tries will be failed to be converted. So I'm going to go with the Gold Coast Titans to win this game. I think they'll be a little bit too good for the West Tigers, who look like the front runners for the wooden spoon. They didn't even look like a first grade team. I think there'll be moments where Tigers fans can go, yes, this year, but I think those moments will come pretty rare. So I'm going to go the Titans by 18. I don't think they'll win this game by like 30, considering how bad the Tigers are. They could, but I think the Titans really have some issues that they need to work on. I don't think they're a bottom 4 team by any standard or anything like that. I just think their defense isn't great and it's got work, but their attack can make them score points. I like the Titans 13 plus. I'm going to take them 28 points to 10, the Titans to win by 18 at home. And first try scorer for this match, I'm going to go to the right centre. I'm going to go a short ball to Patrick Herbert, and Patrick Herbert scores first. The Titans win Thursday night. The next game sees the Newcastle Knights facing the Cronulla Sharks. This game is at PointsBet Stadium. Sharks beat the Eels at PointsBet Stadium just 2 weeks ago. As for the Sharks, Connor Tracy and Matt Ikuvalu are out. The welcoming return of Harodi, Ronaldo Mulatalo, Teague Wilton returns. So lots of ins for the Sharks, good to see. Mitchell Barnett obviously out for an extended amount of time for the Newcastle Knights, means that Brodie Jones will come into the back row at Newcastle. Kalen Ponga has been named. Will he play? I hope so. I hope we get some Ponga time, and against a good team like the Sharks, the Knights are definitely going to need him. The Knights were good in a loss last week against the Panthers, especially being forced to be down to 12 men with the send-off of Mitchell Barnett. As for the Cronulla Sharks, I tipped them by 20. They went by 24 against the Dragons, so it was an impressive victory in wet conditions as well. Dragons didn't play great, and I think the refereeing had a little bit to do with it, but I still got a close enough tip, and I like what I'm seeing from Cronulla this year. So it's hard to go past Cronulla at home here. I'm going to tip the Sharks, even though I've really liked what I've seen from Newcastle. Even against that Panthers side, they were able to stay in the contest. So I'm going to go the Sharks by 4. I think this will be a tight game. I'm going to go the Sharks to win 20 points to 16. I think they'll be a little bit too good at home. I don't think they'll blow the Knights out of the water. And if they do blow the Knights out of the water, it is a bit of a worry because the Sharks are kind of one of those top teams and the Knights are trying to be one of those teams this year, as we've seen, but I just don't know if they are. So I'm going to go Cronulla to win by 4, 20 points to 16. I'm going to go the back rower, Brodie Jones stepping in for Mitchell Barnett to score the first try of the match. So Newcastle to score first, but the Sharks to win. The next game is the grand final rematch. It is a cracking game. It is on 8 o'clock on Friday. It's April Fool's Day, everyone. The Penrith Panthers and the South Sydney Rabbitohs. The South Sydney Rabbitohs, didn't they hit some form against the Roosters? Love what Latrell Mitchell was doing. Loved Cody Walker. Cameron Murray was one of my best players for the round. He was absolutely outstanding. Just this whole Rabbitohs team really got around, something to be excited about. And as for the Panthers, they knocked off the Knights a bit under strength. So they're 3 from 3 to start this season, and they've had this impeccable record at home. Sean O'Sullivan is out for this game as Nathan Cleary is welcomed back for the Penrith Panthers. It's a huge in. James Fisher-Harris has been named on the reserves. That would be an even bigger in. Liam Martin in jersey number 19. Scott Sorensen and Viliami Kikau named in the back row for this game, with Spencer Leniu up in the front row. Jamin Salmon, Mitch Kenny and Jermaine Hopgood make up the bench. As for the Rabbitohs, there's no outs by the looks of it. Blake Taff has been named in jersey number 18th at 18th man. Isaiah Tuss in jersey number 23. Josh Mansour in jersey 20. So fairly unchanged for a side that was very impressive against the Sydney Roosters. I was very impressed with the Rabbitohs on Friday night, and they get another test here against the Penrith Panthers. Obviously an intercept being thrown cost them the grand final in 2021, and they're going to be out for revenge here. But Penrith Panthers, for mine, they're just going to be too good. With Nathan Cleary coming back, I think they're going to be way too good. I could see them winning this game 13+, but I'm going to give the Rabbitohs a little bit of leniency here and say that they lose the game by 10. I'm going to tip a scoreline of Panthers 26 to the Rabbitohs 16 in this game. I'm going to go Nathan Cleary. I'm going to go Nathan Cleary to return from injury in some form, score the first try of the match. It'll be fantastic to see it. Panthers fans will get around him. I think that Penrith Panthers will go 4 from 4 to start the 2022 NRL season. But I think there'll be a lot of people who will actually... The next game is the New Zealand Warriors at Redcliffe up against the Brisbane Broncos. The Warriors were able to get the job done against the Tigers, but the Tigers threw the game away, so it was hardly a win for the Warriors fans, as they've been saying. As for the Brisbane Broncos, really, really disappointing effort for the home fans. Flogged by the Cowboys. I think it was the most points the Cowboys have scored at Suncorp Stadium. Let me know if I'm wrong about that, Broncos or Cowboys fans, but the Queensland Derby ended up being a blowout to the Cowboys over the Broncos. As for this game for the Broncos, pretty much an unchanged side. Sean Johnson has been named on an extended bench in jersey number 24 for the Warriors. That would be a huge in. Bailey Sirenen is out for this match. Josh Curran retains his position at lock. He's been really, really good to start the season, and he had a great season last season as well. Ben Murdoch-Masila in jersey number 20. Jack Murchie, Jazz Tavanga, Aaron Penne, Bunty Afoa make up the bench. And then not really many changes for the Broncos. Billy Walters has been named in jersey number 17. And Kurt Capewell is battling a calf injury, so he's been named on the reserves for front rower Keenan Palacia, which gives Ryan James jersey number 8. So the Broncos, they need to bounce back here. It's as simple as that. They've had a great start to the season. They were 2 from 2. They're now 2 from 3. The Warriors, they will take confidence out of winning, but it was their first win in a long time. They didn't look great, in my opinion. They've got a home game here in Redcliffe, so I'm going to go the Broncos. I think this will be a low-scoring affair. I don't see either team blowing the other side out of the water, but I'm going to go the Broncos to win this game by 8 points. I think they'll be a little bit too good. You've seen just how consistent their forward pack in Payne Haas was. Keenan Palacia was fantastic as well last week, and I know they let in a few points, but I think they'll be much better this weekend. So I'm going to go the Broncos to win 18 points to 10, and I'm going to take their 5'8" in Albert Kelly to score the first try for this game. I think Kelly and Reynolds, nice combination, will be built on this weekend, pick up a win. Broncos sees the Manly Sea Eagles up against the Canberra Raiders. Now, let me just say, at this time last season, the Manly Sea Eagles sat in 16th position. They were sitting in 16th position on Sunday. Now, their first win of the season was against the New Zealand Warriors, 13 points to 12. I can't remember if Manly were the home team or not. I think they may have been. I could be wrong. And then they went, that was their first win of the season. And then they went to Mudgee. They brought Tom Trbojevic back. Now, Manly have beaten the Bulldogs 13-12, the same score as last year. We're sitting on the same spot as the ladder. Where do they play this weekend? fucking Mudgee. What's going on here? Feels like deja vu. Is Manly going to blow the Raiders out of the water on Saturday afternoon? You'll have to wait and see what I think. But let's get into these teams. But outstanding. That is mind-blowing stuff. But anyway, Sebastian Kris is out for the Raiders. Jared Croker has been overlooked for this game. It's unfortunate to see. I guess players like Matt Tomoko, Semi Valame, Jordan Rapana, Nick Kotrick kind of do come in front of him in form-wise, but it will be great to see him get to his 300th NRL game, just in my personal opinion. George Tafua has been named in jersey 21, Josh Aloiai in jersey number 19, Ethan Bullymore into the bench for this game, and Andrew Davey will come into the second row, the former Parramatta Eel. As for the Raiders, it looks like Sam Williams and Xavier Savage on the reserves. Corey Horsburgh, who re-signed with the club recently, on the bench for this one. The Raiders, how good was their comeback? 22-0 or 22-4 at half-time. They come over the Titans 24-22 with some hard-hitting defense. As for Manly, they get over the Bulldogs 13-12, but pretty unconvincingly. And they go in this game, I think, around $1.38, quite heavily favourites. But I'm tipping an upset here, guys. I'm tipping the Raiders. I know that this game's being played at Mudgee, and we saw what Manly did at Mudgee. This team, they're still going to be a top 8 team, in my opinion, Manly, but I tipped this team to win the comp originally, and I really don't like the signs that I've seen from Manly. Players need to step up more and more, and the Raiders have definitely been inconsistent, but I think they've been better than Manly, and I think they can beat Manly, and they're a team that likes to trouble Manly as well. So I'm going to go Canberra to win this game. I'm going to go by 12 as well. I don't think that Canberra will win 13+, but I like them 1-12 here. We're going to go the Raiders to beat Manly Sea Eagles at Mudgee, 28 points to 16. Jordan Rapana is going to be my pick for the first try scorer. It's good to see Nick Kotrick back. You could take him. But I'm going to go Jordan Rapana, and I'm going to go with Canberra to win, 28-16. Raiders by 12. This game promises to be an absolute blockbuster on Saturday. This is a Saturday night game. If you were going at the start of the season, you would have said the Roosters win this game by 30+. You've got the Cowboys coming off a huge victory against the Broncos, coming off a huge victory against the Raiders as well. And their defense has been good. They've kept the Bulldogs to scoring 6 points in that first game as well. Up against the Sydney Roosters, one of the heavyweight sides of this competition. Really, really stacked team with James Tedesco, Joseph Manu, Luke Keary, Victor Radley. There's just so many big names in this side, and obviously they brought Connor Watson back. It's going to be a really interesting game. I'm really looking forward to this game. The Cowboys are pretty much unchanged. Scott Drinkwater has been named in jersey number 19. I feel like if not this week, maybe next week, he might find himself via the bench. No, maybe not in the starting side, but I think Scott Drinkwater is probably due for an NRL return. Roosters, they had a good win against Manly, which was their first win of the season 2 weeks ago. Last week, they were more than average against the Rabbitohs, and Trent Robinson actually won't be heading up to Townsville. He has tested positive, so he's out for coaching for this game, which we saw kind of affected the Sharks in the Craig Fitzgibbon factor. But you'd be absolutely crazy to tip the Cowboys here with the team the Roosters have. So you can call me crazy. I'm tipping the NRL's upset of the year so far, and I'm tipping the Cowboys at home, the Cowboys of Townsville. Get down to Townsville, a huge North Queensland crowd, back 3 wins in a row for the North Queensland Cowboys. I think that they'll beat the Sydney Roosters. I just think that the Roosters will hit the ground running later in the season, and I don't think that moment is just yet. I'm going to go for a close game here. I'm going to go the Cowboys to defeat the Roosters, 24 points to 18. The Cowboys by 6. I think there will be some points in it, but I think the Cowboys defense can hold the Roosters out from scoring a huge number on them, and in the end get over the top of them. Valentine Holmes always performs pretty good against the Roosters when he was in a Sharks jersey from memory, and even when he plays Cowboys as well. So I'm going to go Murray Taulagi to score the first try for this game, the Cowboys to win by 6, and I think Valentine Holmes once again will be in for a huge match. Biggest upset of the year, I'm calling it. The Cowboys defeat the Roosters in a Saturday night blockbuster. Two games of the round, both on Sunday. The first one at Amy Park. The Storm knocked off by my Parramatta Eels 25-24 in an absolutely thrilling game of football. Probably the game of the year so far, in my opinion. I just thought both sides were absolutely fantastic to watch. There was some refereeing funny from both sides, but you get that with every game. Explosive A-grade players stepping up. It was so good to see, and obviously take that victory home from Amy Park. I wish I was there for a fucking Golden Point game. But anyway, the Melbourne Storm, they're going to win this game well, and it has comeback written, or what's the word, like bounce back written all over it. Craig Bellamy factor. Up against the Bulldogs, they almost beat Manly. Manly snatched this one 13 points to 12. The Bulldogs led most of the first half of this game. As for the Storm, Tyson Smoothie is out. Xavier Coates is back. Harry Grant is back. Tyrone Wishart returns. No, actually he doesn't. He is on the bench. He's on the reserves for the Brandon Smith gets the bench spot. Jaden Ockenbaugh has been named on the reserves for the Bulldogs. He was a late out last week. Jack Hetherington's season is over, and Kyle Flanagan named in jersey number 22. Not much to say here, guys. I'm going to go the Melbourne Storm to win quite well, comfortably here. Storm 32, Bulldogs 16. So the Storm by 16. I like Kenny Bromwich to bag himself a try this weekend, so I'm going to back Kenny Bromwich to score the first try of this game. Melbourne will bounce back at Amy Park on Sunday. Final game of the round sees my boys, the Parramatta Eels, up against the St. George Illawarra Dragons at 6 o'clock on Sunday night. Now, I am going to this game. I will not be vlogging this game, so there'll be some games this year where you'll see that I won't be putting out game day vlogs. I might still put up reviews of the game or a reaction at a pub or something like that, like you may have seen the Storm and Eels kind of vlog. But as for the Parramatta Eels, Ray Stone's season is out, so it'll be interesting to see. Ryan Madison comes into the bench in jersey number 15 with Bryce Cartwright in jersey number 16. Finally, great to see Bryce Cartwright on the bench. I'm really excited about that. Jaden Sewer and Cody Ramsey are out for the Dragons. That's some big out. Aaron Woods has been named for the Dragons. Is he on the reserves? He's on the bench. He's in jersey number 17. And Jack DeBellin also on the bench with Josh Kerr. Andrew McCulloch has been named on the reserves with Moses Mbai getting the start in jersey number 9 for this game. The Dragons, they weren't great, but they weren't awful, I don't think, against the Sharks. I saw some great moments. Ben Hunt was fantastic for the Dragons as well. Real leader at the back there. Tyrell Sloan was fairly quiet, so I expect a bigger game from him this weekend. I think everyone will be tipping the Eels really well here, but I think it's a danger game for us, and I think St. George beating us twice at Bank West will play a little bit of mind games. I think we'll win. I think Parramatta is my tip for the round, but it's a big danger game here. I'm going to go Eels to win by 10. I do think we'll win this game 1-12, not 13+. It's a night game as well, and tell you what, when it's night time at Bank West, we don't play the greatest, and we've seen that in recent years. So I'm going to go the Eels 26 points to 16. I think we've got a great lineup this round. Looking forward to it. I think Bailey Simonson will be the first try scorer. I think Bailey has been denied a couple of tries in Eels colours, so I'm going to back him for the first try. But I think the Dragons can score over 12 points as one of my bets for the round. But let's get into the bets. Guys, last week were the Rabbits and the Roosters to go over 40 points and the Eels and the Storm to go over 36 points, I think it was. Both of those bets got up, so we are having a cracking start to the season. We had Reid Marnie to score a try a few weeks ago against the Sharks. We've had some awesome bets. So I'm going to go with two here. I'm going to go with a multi for once, and this paying $10.43. I'm going to go with the Cronulla Sharks 1-12. I think at home they'll be too good, but Newcastle have proved that they can be a pretty good defensive side this year. Welcome back a few of their guns as well this week. So Sharks 1-12. I think the Parramatta Eels at the line. I think at Bank West they can win by 10 or more. I can see them sneaking over 13+. I don't see like a 20-point victory. So Eels -9 at the line. And then the Storm 13+. I think the Storm will win very comfortably on Sunday afternoon. They're probably one of my picks of the week. So $10.43 for that one. And I like this Raiders and Manly game to go over 40 points. I reckon that both of these sides are capable of scoring points. They're both at a point in the season where they have to be winning games, and I think we're going to see some great attack and some great footy. So those are my best bet. Two upsets this round, the Canberra Raiders and the Roosters back-to-back. upsets for Super Saturday. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Let me know your tips in the comments. And I'll see you guys. Just want to let you know that tomorrow night there will be a special video on the channel, as today, Tuesday the 29th, is 5 years of Entertain House as a YouTube channel. NRL is a little bit shorter, but as a YouTube channel as such, I turned 5. I'll be reacting to some old videos for you guys tomorrow night. Subscribe. Thanks, guys.